is it possible in today's market, Singapore real estate market, for you to actually purchase a home with bad credit, with no down payment, and to finance your house while you're still staying in it, all the way, finance your house, you're staying in it, finance it through rent, okay, and always being positive, never having to worry about your monthly installments? The answer is yes. Now, let me just tell you this particular situation where I had this guy, he came to me and he had actually engaged the services of 5 different agents, and they all did not want to take up his case. And the reason was because, well, for one, he did not have any money for down payment for his house, and he had a problem getting loan because, well, he doesn't have very good credit rating, all right? So, of course, in Singapore, the credit rating is done by CBS, that's the Credit Bureau of Singapore, so his rating was extremely bad. So when he came to me, I just told him, simple as this, give me your whole case, give me your whole details, I'll find a way to underwrite it for you, okay? And of course, in the beginning, he was a little bit skeptical, and he did tell me that he didn't have the ability to pay me, he didn't have the ability to even come up with a deposit for his home. How are we going to go about doing it? All right, so I'm going to show you this case because this is a real case. Now, because of his particular situation, I did tell him that it is possible to do this in Singapore. That means it is possible for you to actually purchase a home in Singapore with no money down. It is possible, all right? Or with little money down, it is possible. Now, why is that the case? All right, you see, firstly, I would like to say, and I'm not affiliated to any political party, but I'd like to say that Singapore is one of the only places in the world I know where the government helps you to buy a house. You heard me right. The government of Singapore is the one that will help you buy a house. This has been something that they have been doing since the early 60s, and this is something which you can take advantage of. All right, so now comes the next thing. That you might be thinking that Singapore property markets, you know, Arun, they are crazy, all right? Prices are flying all over the place. They're going up. There's no way it's possible. Okay, so here's the thing. You can actually do it with certain types of properties in Singapore, and you need to know how to go about choosing such properties. So in this video, it might be a little bit long, but let me just tell you that if you are one of those people out there where you have this kind of situations, fret not, do not worry. It is possible for you to actually purchase a home even if you do not have the ability to. So why is that so? Again, I come back to the same thing, which is the government helps you. The government actually gives you a lot of grant. Let's have a look at this. Say even if you're single, all right, or if you are just a couple, and you're intending to buy a house, right? So, well, you can buy a home in Singapore if you're a married couple. So if you're a married couple, the government gives you up to, the word here is up to $160,000 worth of grants, all right? So there are many grants which you actually can take out there. And this grant is what you can use to purchase a house. So now what you need to do next is, of course, go and search for houses which are I won't say as cheap as possible, but the pricing is much lower. So a good place to search, of course, would be your 3-room flats. All right, 3-room flats are the best because the size is pretty good, and it will be good enough for you to actually make the purchase. So now let's look at this guy's case. All right, so what is the first thing which I did for him? All right, the first thing that I did for him was to actually find a place for him, something which is about $300,000. And with this, as you can see, with the option, right, he didn't even have $100 to pay the option fee. All right, so what I did was I actually told the seller, you just give him some time to pay this amount for the option, and then he would be able to pay you for it. So if you could, we could actually sign up a letter of intent to buy your place. the moment he's ready with the $100, and we just tried our luck with this. So we tried with a few units, all right. Finally, there was one nice uncle and auntie who were willing to go ahead with it, all right. So we did the option, and he managed to get that $100 to pay this. Okay, so this guy, he's a disabled guy, right? And so what he does is he does Grab deliveries for a living, and he managed to come up with this $100 eventually. And as you can see, the exercise fee for this particular unit is only $1, right? So that's all he paid, which is $101, all right? He managed to get a total funding from the government of $67,000. So that would be enough to cover, more than 20% of the house purchase. So he just needed to get a loan, right? Now, we had problems getting the loan. We tried from the banks, obviously, and because of his credit rating, we had a problem. Now, this is a very special case where I would say that sometimes you need the whole village to get involved to help somebody to purchase. So we went through the usual appealing process through HDB, okay, even through some grassroots, and we managed to get the appeal through, and he managed to get his house financed through HDB loan, all right? So HDB loan is always the best choice, because with HDB loan, they will give you better choices and better financing as well for marginal cases like this, all right? And after that, here's the next best part. Once I managed to get his house, and once we collected the key, the first thing that we did was we did a room rental. Now, in Singapore, if you have a 3-room HDB flat, you're allowed to do a 1-room rental. Now, room rentals in Singapore is pretty good, and as you can see over here, I forgot to mention this, his monthly installment for his loan is only $700 per month. Now, how much did he manage to rent his room out for? Okay. Here we go. All right, of course, I got to blank out the details. So he managed to rent out his room for $1,000 per month. So that gives him a net of $300. Now, on top of that, the contract that I did with the tenant was that the utilities get to be divided. So that means that his cost of renting it out doesn't come with additional cost because the utilities get divided, all right? So this is how I can show you that in Singapore it is possible. It is possible in Singapore to buy a house, okay, with no money down, all right? And it is also possible to totally finance it through a room rental, okay? So you never need to worry about your mortgage payments. Now, here's the funny thing. When I told a few agents, my fellow agent friends, about how I managed to get this done, and I told them I'm so happy to go and tell people about it. One of them told me, don't go and put this up there. And he said, because you're going to get a lot of people who are just going to queue up and ask you to do the same thing. You see, here's the funny thing. My answer to him was, in case you have not forgotten, that's your job, You're supposed to get people houses, huh? All right? So, anyway, for those of you who are watching this video out there, let me just tell you that it is possible for you to do that. And if you do have any issues, just send me an email, or you can send me a WhatsApp message. All right, even if you feel that your deal is extremely difficult, let's see how we can go about underwriting your deal. Now, it takes time, it takes a lot of effort. You have to you need to take some time to sort some things out. Let me go through with you. I can show you how to get this done. So, fret not. If you feel that you are marginalized for some reason and you're not able to own a home in Singapore, let me just tell you that actually I have great news for you, and that is that it is possible to do it, all right? Don't lose hope, guys, and have a fantastic week ahead. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.